Hi guys, it's Kim here, just popping in with some cool information that's come through and some really cool awarenesses that I wanted to share with you. As promised, I'm going to be doing more of this, so keep checking into my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and all that sort of stuff, and I'll keep sharing. So today what's coming through is about parenting. I am the mother of 4 children and a lot of my clients are parents, and of course, a lot of my friends are parents. So we often have this conversation around parenting, how to parent our children, how to do it the right way, all that sort of thing. So the first thing that's been coming through into my awareness when talking to clients and to friends and to myself is that there is actually no right or wrong way. So at the end of the day, if we want to shift consciousness around anything around parenting, what we need to do is shift from the duality of right or wrong and literally just look at it as parenting. It's just parenting. And if you can just look at parenting as just parenting rather than there's a right way or a wrong way, you'll already shift your consciousness to a new awareness, which will enable you to just show up as the best parent you can be without having the whole concept of right or wrong, good or bad attached to it. That's the first thing that's coming through. The next one is through damaging your children. Damaging your children so that when they grow up or not damaging your children so that when they grow up they won't actually need therapy or whatever. A lot of parents say, I really just worry that what I'm doing is hurting them, or that I might be doing the wrong thing, might be saying the wrong thing, anything like that. I can guarantee you 120% that if you had 10 children in front of you, or even people, that each one of those would see the situation as different. Everyone has a different perception and everyone has a different reality going on in their mind as to what they're seeing and what they're perceiving is actually true. So this is where there is no way that you could ever understand what's going on in your children's head. Through the processes that I've been using and the research that I've done, perception about life, people, and the world and how they fit into the world is all decided before they're born. When they're in utero, they already have a perception of who they are. They already have a perception about what the world is like, and they carry that with them right throughout life until I change it. So that perception or that belief or that thought that they have will be with them forever. So it doesn't actually matter what you do. If they have a perception around anything that's related to even what you're doing, you won't know what that is until they might tell you, well, you didn't do that the way I thought you would do it, or whatever. Everyone has a different perception. So the best way that you could deal with this situation is just turn up being authentically you. That's where you can be the best example for your children. And so when you turn up with no apologies, when you turn up without the ego, which I will be talking a lot more about here, when you turn up without the ego and turn up as yourself, you will find that you will be able to parent a lot better than what you've probably been able to before. And the worry about wrecking their future or putting programming into their heads or whatever is actually opening it up to you being intentional in not being authentic. You're always thinking and not being honest and always thinking about maybe hurting or harming them, which you could have the best intentions around this, or around actually not hurting them, but in actual fact you don't know that the thing that you're actually doing could actually be hurting them. So it's because it's their perception is completely different to yours, and it'll always be different. So it's actually really important to maybe ask them, how do you see this? What is it? How do you see this happening? How do you, what's the meaning that you put on this? Anything like that, just to find out how they think. It's really cool, but never ever go through life worried about harming them or anything like that. Again, getting rid of the good or bad, right or wrong parenting and going into I'm just a parent will really help you just to tap into yourself. then any way that you're turning up and you're acting from either a different place, like you're thinking about how you need to do things, or you can hear other people's voices in your head around, you know, you should do this way, you should do that way, don't worry, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's all based around the ego controlling how you show up. Please just call it out. Come back to you. Come back to, what would I do? Who am I and what am I authentically like? What would I usually do in this situation? And what feels good to me? What is the best way for me to show up here? I've had lots of situations for myself where I've actually identified, you know, anger showing up when something happened, and I could hear other people's voices saying, you need to teach them a lesson. If you don't show them now, they will, you know, they'll grow up to be juvenile delinquents, blah, 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 blah. Like, they are all other people's voices. When you tune into your own, you'll find that those voices don't actually exist there. Listen to your own voice and act according to that. And that is the best way that you can parent. The other thing that I'm finding around parenting is that we often parent from a place of future-based. It's always like, if I don't do it now, then they're going to be, you know, again, juvenile delinquents when they're older. If I don't do it properly, then they will suffer in the future. They're going to grow up to be this, that, or whatever. Again, the whole saying of what you resist persists, you know, you could actually turn them into into that by actually being so forceful in the way that you're parenting. So what we need to do is that we need to look into, okay, so when we're parenting, what is it that our children actually want? They do want our time, but in actual fact, they just want to be in our energy. They love our energy. And for you to just give them your energy and your attention is actually all you need to do in that moment. Because once a child not only feels your energy within all the interactions that you have with them, but also teaching them how to connect to their own energy is really important. And what's going to happen is they're going to make decisions and choices based around what they think is the right thing. And to be honest, children are really smart. Yes, you can teach them certain things, but what I've found is that they're really intelligent and they actually do know a lot. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Ask them, what would you do in this situation? What would be the best way to deal with this? Because you'll be surprised at some really cool ways of things that are coming out. So I found that if you could just be present, if something happens, be present with what's happening rather than, oh, if I don't deal with it properly, then they're going to turn out to be juvenile delinquents and in the gutters, homeless and blah, blah, blah. No, they are not. In actual fact, if you be more present with them in the current moment, they are going to feel absolutely loved, absolutely full of attention, and be able to have that connection with you and be able to communicate with you in that present moment, more so than if we're trying to project some level of how they're going to turn out into the future. You'll only do your head in and you'll go crazy. So hopefully those few pointers have come up and helped you to, again, be the parent that you would like to, the way that you want to parent. Again, I'm not going to say good or bad, right or wrong. You just parent the way you want to parent, and that is all you need to do. So hopefully this has helped. Any comments, pop below. Any questions, I'm here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.